Welcome back to Vegas Unwrapped. Aaron Phillips, Ricky Cash, King Khan on the board, Radar behind the video camera, and Jimmy Bryant, the head of Lights for Love, Lights for, that's the number, love.org, and go to his website. It's filled with a lot of information. Cash, did you know that the national average time for an ambulance is 10 minutes for response time, and for paramedics it's 12 to 15 minutes?
Yeah, I read that earlier today, and I was kind of surprised. I was really hoping it would be within 10, because 10 minutes is
Could be an eternity.
it's a lifetime.
Absolutely.
You know, especially when somebody is, and I don't mean to be facetious with this, but fallen and I can't get up.
Yeah, exactly.
Or some other type of accident. And most of the time those things happen in the home, and can you imagine not being able to find someplace because the directions aren't there? That's why this is such an amazingly simple but brilliant concept.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Jimmy, you shared with us your background. You shared with us that you came up with the idea for yourself because of hospice care, of putting this identifying light in your a fixture outside, so that everybody from the nurses with oxygen to your Chinese food delivery can find you. So what precipitated you? You mentioned before you went down and you got incorporated, but something had to stick with you to take this idea to such a bigger level.
Well, what had happened was I was talking to a friend of mine, and he said, listen, I love it. I love the idea, and I want to help. So come on down and to Nevada Processing Incorporated, and we'll do the paperwork for you, and we're going to donate our time.
Okay.
And I was like, wow. 3 days later, I was a 501(c)(3)
There you go.
corporation.
Right.
And I thought, well, the hardest thing to do is try to talk to somebody without a business card.
Right.
Okay. So I called my good friend Tony Farrar, and from A&D Designs and Ferrasi.com, and
we'll send him a bill for the plug.
You do. Okay.
Tony's a good guy.
He is. But I called him to get some prices, and he said, Jimmy, listen, I love the idea. I love the idea, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to donate my design time. Okay? The only thing you have to pay for is your business cards and whatever the website, fee is for running the website. And I'm like, oh, wow.
Okay.
Okay?
Sure.
I actually bought one on GoDaddy and tried to do it myself, and it was just too complicated.
Sure.
I'm not a computer guy or anything like that. So Tony set the whole thing up for me, designed my business cards, my brochures, my banner that's behind us, and invited me to one of the networking groups.
Right.
Where I met you. And
Right.
Here's
And here you are in the
else,
studio.
and here's somebody else who jumps on board.
Right.
But it's just unbelievable how it's turned and turned and turned. And I started talking to people. I have a home health aide that comes and helps me in the morning. Okay? And I went to her company, which I'm going to have to give them a plug too. Okay? It's Home Health Care Partners.
Okay.
Or Home Health Care Specialists, I'm sorry. And they have 41 companies nationwide.
Oh, wow.
And they loved the idea. They brought me in. There was 10 of the local companies there, and they've agreed to come on board. Right now, the owner's out of town, but when he gets back, he's coming on board and do a donation, and we're going to start working together. And I contacted Nathan Addison because I felt, this is where it all began.
Sure.
Okay, you know what I mean? So I contacted Nathan Addison, and they jumped on board. They loved the idea. When somebody gets it, they get it.
Right.
I've had people say to me, Jimmy, well, I think it makes you a target. Okay? And I'm like, a target? They said, well, it tells people that there's drugs in the house, and if a drug addict is going to rob you or something, I'm like, listen, if a drug addict is going to rob you, first of all, if they see you walking out with a walker or oxygen, they know there's drugs in the house. Besides that, most of us got drugs in our house. Okay? So, but, I put some thought into it, and I started going out and looking for a different way to make it work. Okay? And then I was sitting with another prospective sponsor, and she said to me, well, I'm a single woman with a couple kids, and I like to leave my light on all night long.
Right.
So it would have to be red, all of that? And I'm like, that's a good question.
Right.
Okay, so I went out and I started looking, and I couldn't find anything that would change a light bulb from white to red.
Okay.
Okay, but I thought of Sun City and all those places, and what I found out was that Del Webb, the largest adult home community builder in the world,
Right.
uses a switch that it costs about $45 that makes the outside light flash.
Okay.
So I had to go back to the person that said, listen, it makes you a target. I said, listen, you know how many targets there are out there?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, there's a lot of them. all
Right.
And so I'm thinking, and I grabbed a company called Preferred
Okay.
Electric, and I asked them if they got a referral from Lights for Love to install an additional lamp outside for an emergency, would they give us a discount? And they agreed to give a 10 to 15% discount. Okay, so
Would you make that a flashing red light, on and off?
yes.
Because that's the one that
Well,
makes.
well,
'cause
well, they
that makes
can,
sense.
okay, but they may miss it. You know what I mean? All you gotta do is take 1 second if it's off, and they don't see it. Okay.
I think a steady light
So-
is probably better.
A steady light.
Right. But
is-
have it on a dual switch.
Right.
Have two different switches, one
Right.
for the regular light, one for the red light.
Right.
Sure.
So, well, listen.
Or however
Anyway,
they wanna do
they want to do it. My idea was to give out light bulbs, and that's what I'm moving forward with. I can't solve all your problems, but I will try to help you, and come up with different ideas and stuff like that. So, as time progressed, and I was with Nathan Addison Hospice, I actually wound up inpatient.
Okay.
And they called my family in and said, Jimmy's got about 3 days to live.
Oh boy.
Okay. My brother came in from Jersey. I have a sister in Georgia, flew in, everything like that. And they said it could go kind of like either way, but we would venture to say in 3 days he's done.
Wow.
Okay. And
How long ago was that?
that was about 3 days before Super Bowl Sunday last year.
Wow. So a year.
And I had a friend of mine fly in from New York named Rob Stroshine. Okay, been friends for years, and he's hung around a couple of days, and he looked. He said, "You know what? We can't let this happen to Jimmy. I'm not gonna let this happen to Jimmy." And he walked into Nathan Addison on Super Bowl Sunday last year and said, "Take all the wires off of him, take the IV out, and get me a wheelchair." They said, "You can't take him nowhere. The guy's dying." He said, "Listen, do it." And they said, "It's against medical advice." He said, "Do it." So he took me, and I didn't even know it for 4 months, okay, later on. But he took me to a church up the street. He told them what was going on. They prayed over me. 3 days later, I went home from Nathan Addison Hospice. And 2 weeks later, I signed off in Nathan Addison Hospice. Since then, they've put a stent in my heart, and a balloon, and I'm here today.
Well, that's great.
It's amazing.
Now let's go back to the bulbs themselves. Are you gonna are they gonna be specifically manufactured by somebody
Well, what
to
happened?
distribute? What's the cost of them? Things like that.
What happened is they created a law in the United States that nobody makes light bulbs in the U.S. anymore. I was
Okay.
trying to buy U.S. light bulbs, something manufactured in the United States to keep the money in the United States and everything like that, and they just don't do it.
Okay.
So I found a company, and I got the bulbs, and it comes through a company that's here in the United States, but I got the bulbs down to $1.20 a piece.
Nice.
Okay, so I mean, even if you make a $10 donation, I can buy 6 or 7 bulbs.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Okay, so it's like unbelievable what you can do with a small idea and a small amount of
Sure.
money. Now naturally, we'd like the big guys to jump on and donate more and stuff like that. But I've had people walk up to me and hand me $10 and say, "Jimmy, here, I want to be part of this."
Now, does somebody have to apply to you to say, "Hey, I need a bulb," or how are you dispensing them, or choosing to dispense them?
what-
The recipients.
What I did was I left it open, okay? Contact us, okay? And we're right there, okay? I don't care if you're a private person,
Okay.
you need a light bulb, or you're a company, You need light bulbs, you know, I have 300 light bulbs. I'm gonna
Right.
send you 300 light bulbs.
Okay.
All I gotta do is call the guy and tell him where to ship them.
What's the best way for people to
Okay.
get in touch with you to get that besides the website?
They can call us at 702-489-6007.
Okay?
Okay, they can go on the website, they can email us at information, or info@lightsforlove.org or info@lightsforlove.com. Okay? I kept my New Jersey cell phone number. I'm a Jersey boy. I couldn't keep it, okay, but I'll give you that too. It's 732-685-2080, okay?
All right.
I just have to, you know, I got my little connection left in Jersey.
Absolutely.
My ties are kind of still there.
Absolutely.
But
All the information's on the website.
all the information is there.
Can
The
donate
doc-
right through the website.
Excuse me?
They can donate right through the website
They can
too, I see.
donate on any page of the website. It
Right.
goes through PayPal, so it's safe. The doctors at Nathan Addison, 3 days later when I went home, said, you know what, you are a miracle,
Sure.
you know? And I laid at home and got better and felt a little bit better and everything like that. And I said, you know what, I gotta do something with this. I gotta do something with this. If this New York City Mayor Bloomberg and the chief of the fire department has just shaved 1 second off of the response time and saved hundreds and hundreds of lives by 1 second, okay? And, you know, you're correct that it's 10 minutes for the EMTs or something like that and everything, but when you're having a heart attack, you have 4 to 6 minutes to get hit with that defibrillator.
Right.
Or you're stroking out, or brain dead, whatever, or dead.
Or dead.
You know
Or
what I
the
mean?
worst.
Or worse, you know what I mean? So, you know, if we can save a few lives,
Absolutely.
okay, I'm all for it, and that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Nobody gets paid, nobody makes any money on it, there's no profit, okay? It's just giving back. I'm happy to be alive, I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to meet guys like you that are willing to step up to the plate and say, Jimmy, come on down
Absolutely.
and let us help you.
The website is called www.lightsforlove. That's the number 4.org. And the story is great. It's, again, Cash, it's one of those duh moments where somebody finally came up with the concept. Jimmy Bryan is his name, 702-489-6007, or email him at info@lightsforlove.org. Jimmy, thank you so much for coming down and introducing this to our audience. And whatever you need, whatever support you need, whatever events you have, commercials, we'll be happy to help voice them for you. Whatever you need, Vegas and Rap, Phillips and Cash will be there to support you.
Count on us.
I appreciate that very much. Right now, we need donations.
You got
You know
it.
what I mean? So
Get them in so we can buy them bulbs.
that's it.
Them bulbs.
That's it.
All right, Jimmy, thank
And-
you, sir.
wait.
Yep, go ahead. Go.
We are meeting with the mayor
Yes.
on the 30th
Okay.
at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
And we're going to present her with a plaque and everything like that
Great.
for recognizing it. And hopefully we can get the fire department and rescue companies on board
Great.
with us. So once again, we can help save lives.
Absolutely. Sounds great.
Tremendous.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
it. Lights for Love. Phillips and Cash, we come back on the other side. Mr. Cash is going to dabble us with some unwrapped treasures. Don't go anywhere.
Buried treasures.
We'll be right back.
Buried treasures.